AEW has consistently put my mind into a situation of, is this a work? Is this a work shoot? Or is this just a straight up shoot? Recently, there's been a lot of things going on with FTR, the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, CM Punk. It's just been a bunch of crazy stuff going on. You got the Eddie Kingston drama going on. Tons of stuff that seems like the company is allowing its talent to play off of actual animosity, actual reasons why people would have a problem with each other, which, you know, man, doesn't that make for some interesting fuel to the fire of a confrontation that the fans want to see? If you're going to have conflict in a situation, having these cartoonish narratives, more akin to something you would see in like a superhero movie, as if we haven't had enough of those, that doesn't give you the same kind of feel as what you're getting in AEW. And what has been happening here recently with CM Punk and Hangman Page, Colt Cabana, and the Young Bucks, man, it is hard for me, myself, a trained professional wrestler, to look at this situation and think, this is all a work. When it came to the MJF stuff, and we know we saw his return, that's all wonderful. But I was thinking it was one of the best work shoots I'd seen in a really long time, because I personally believed that it was completely a work, but that there were elements of a shoot involved. Now, this stuff that's going on between CM Punk, the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, Colt Cabana, that whole situation, I'm getting a little bit more of a feeling like, damn, this is some straight up shoot territory. It seems like there's some real animosity going on in this situation, even more so than what I've heard about between FTR and the Young Bucks. And see, I'm a fan of that kind of stuff, right? As a trained professional wrestler, it is difficult for me to be invested in a storyline because a lot of the mysticism behind the stories and the character development that goes on in professional wrestling is lost once you understand that there's never anything new. All of it has been done before, and probably better than anybody else can do it, given the legends that have existed in the past. But the situation we find ourselves in now, it's a bit different, honestly, and it seems like that this could be a company actually capitalizing on legitimate heat. I've heard a little bit about this situation that happened after All Out, and I'm not sure what to make of what I've read, so I want to see a video clip of this myself. And there is a wonderful wrestling journalist on YouTube that you can check out, and I'm going to butcher her last name, but it's Denise Salcido, I believe is how you pronounce that. But she has some footage here of the media scrum that happened following All Out last night, and there are some harsh words that I read from CM Punk, but I want to see how this comes across coming from him. So if you'll join me, let's check this out, and then we'll talk for a little bit afterwards about, was this a shoot? Is this a work? What's going on here? You ready to check it out?
Hi, Nick Hausman with Wrestling Inc.
I'll start, Nick. Show of hands, who here fancies themselves as a journalist? You're a journalist, Nick? All right.
I try my best.
Okay. No, real quick.
Go ahead.
You still do improv?
No, not a little bit.
No?
No.
When you did improv, who'd you do improv with?
I did it with Scott Colton.
Okay, so you fancy yourself a journalist. Would you say you're friends with Scott Colton?
No, I haven't talked to Scott in some time.
So you're not friends with him?
No, Scott and I do not see eye to eye.
Oh, wow. Well, that makes two of us. My point is, if you fancy yourself a journalist, even if it's for the silly world of professional wrestling, and you have journalistic integrity, people who report things, mostly that are bullshit, and slanderous lies against myself, if you are friends with somebody, you blew my spot. If you're not friends with them, I apologize.
It's okay.
But you should probably disclose who you're friends with.
I'm not friends with you.
I haven't had anything to do with Scott Colton in almost a decade. Probably wanted nothing to do with him even longer than that. It's fucking unfortunate that I have to come up here and speak on this when I'm on my time and this is a fucking business. Why I'm a grown-ass adult man and I decide not to be friends with somebody is nobody else's fucking business. But my friends, if I fall backwards, will catch me. Scott Colton, I felt, never would have. My problem was I wanted to bring a guy with me to the top that did not want to see me at the top. Okay? You call it jealousy, you call it envy, whatever the fuck it is. My relationship with Scott Colton ended long before I paid all of his bills. I have every receipt, I have every invoice, I have every email. I have the email where he says, and I quote, "I agree to go our separate ways. I will get my own lawyer and you do not have to pay anymore." That's an email that I have. The only reason the public did not see is because when I finally had to countersue him through discovery, we discovered he shared a bank account with his mother. That's a fact. And as soon as we discovered that fact and we subpoenaed old Marcia, he sent the email, "Oh, can we please drop all this?" Now, it's 2022. I haven't been friends with this guy since at least 2014, late 2013. And the fact that I have to sit up here because we have irresponsible people who call themselves EVPs and couldn't fucking manage a target, and they spread lies and bullshit and put into a media that I got somebody fired when I have fuck all to do with him, want nothing to do with him, do not care where he works, where he doesn't work, where he eats, where he sleeps. And the fact that I have to get up here and do this in 2022 is fucking embarrassing. And if y'all are at fault, fuck you. If you're not, I apologize. But what did I ever do in this world to deserve an empty-headed fucking dumb fuck like Hangman Adam Page to go on national television and fucking go into business for himself? For what? What did I do? Dave, what did I ever do?
Look at
Didn't do a goddamn thing. What's your name, sir?
Dominic D'Angelo.
Fuck the Pittsburgh Penguins. What are you doing? I'm
from Pittsburgh.
I made it really clear in Forbes, and I just want to make it clear again. Nick,
It's not his position to make it very fucking clear. There's people who call themselves EVPs that should have fucking known better. This shit was none of their business. I understand sticking up for your fucking friends. I fucking get it. I stuck up for that guy more than anybody. Okay? I paid his bills until I didn't, and it was my decision not to.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have no commented when Nick first said it. It's my fault, and if I hadn't, it's my fault. It's my fault.
I appreciate
I
that.
should have just taken it head on because you never said
But I'm trying to
anything.
run a fucking business, and when somebody who hasn't done a damn thing in this business jeopardizes the first $1 million house that this company has ever drawn off of my back and goes on national television and does that, it's a disgrace to this industry, it's a disgrace to this company. Now, we're far beyond apologies, right? I gave him a fucking chance. It did not get handled, and you saw what I had to do, which is very regrettable, lowering myself to his fucking level. But that's where we're at right now. And I will still walk up and down this hallway and say, if you have a fucking problem with me, take it up with me. Let's fucking go. What's your question, Nick?
First of all, you're always very nice to me, and thank you. I wanted to ask you about MJF. Obviously, he played a voicemail from you before he came out. Obviously, confronted you, Punk. Why now? Why is MJF back in the fold now? How do you both feel about him being around? How do you feel about the time he spent away? All of that.
Well, if I may, I'm the one who asked him to come back because MJF's a big star in this company, and this is one of the biggest events. A year ago, CM Punk debuted here, and I thought it was right for the fans. And like I said, for the fans, I thought the best thing that we could do as a company was bring MJF back.
He wants me to work with pricks constantly. That's what it is.
Nevertheless, two of the top wrestlers in the world, MJF and CM Punk.
the stuff between MJF and CM Punk, I feel like is maybe a little bit of work shoot there, but they're being extremely professional about it. Now, when he's talking about the Young Bucks not being able to manage a target and calling Hangman Page empty-headed, which I just want to shout out, Hangman Page trained by Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant. You know, Jimmy Valiant, one of the greatest of all time. Got to have some respect there, but man, this seems to be some legitimate heat going on here. And this is a really long video. Of course, it's a long-winded situation. I don't know how much more there's going to be to this that I'm actually interested in listening to, but I just kind of wanted to dip my toes into the situation and see if I could feel anything that didn't really feel like they were doing business per se, but more along the lines of, just straight up fuck these guys. And I'm getting the vibe that it's just straight up fuck these guys. So, isn't that interesting? Let's listen a little bit more here.
But I've never spoken his word, and I don't know how long, so I'm a little fucking pissed off about it.
That's fine.
When it came down that he was going to sue me, I asked to talk to him. He refused. I asked for mediation. It was denied. I offered him money. He said it was not enough. He went ahead with the lawsuit and sued. It's his fucking funeral. I don't care. He shares a bank account with his mother. It tells you all you need to know about what kind of character that is.
You were always very nice to me. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Nick. I'm sorry if I'm a little fucking snippy.
That's fine.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired. And I work with fucking children.
I respect the situation.
I regret not answering your question.
And I only asked it because I have some familiarity and just wanted some clarification on the story.
Yeah,
I didn't break
I
the
should have
story.
just taken a head on like I did with Blake and Forbes recently.
We're all learning here, Tony. It's okay.
Thanks.
We'll go ahead and end that there. And for me, my personal perspective after watching this and kind of getting the gist of everything that's been going on up to this point that we're privy to. And as CM Punk was saying in the beginning of this, there's a lot of bullshit also. Like, it seems to me that a lot of not just journalists in general, but wrestling journalists also tend to just make up a bunch of shit and come up with their own angles and stories and hearsay and blah, blah, blah. But here we have, that was unfiltered. To me, when you hear someone cutting a promo, I mean, you've heard CM Punk's promos. The pipe bomb sounds nothing like this. He's very good at crafting and articulating what he wants to lead to the next thing in a promo to build on a storyline or an angle. He's not working angles with these people. Like, there is no match setup right now that I'm aware of or any reason for it to really make sense out of an actual MMA competition. For him to go against the Young Bucks or Colt Cabana or any of these motherfuckers, like, this is just straight up, fuck you guys. We're underneath the same roof. We don't really associate with each other, nor do we have any kind of business other than we are in the same company. And he's still running and gunning. A lot of information about Colt Cabana's bank account situation with his mom and things like it just doesn't do anything to boost any storyline or overall narrative. They're obviously going into some CM Punk MJF shit for the sake of the show, but it seems like, to me, the other stuff with Hangman Page and the Young Bucks and Colt Cabana and all that is more, I'm taking it as CM Punk saying, I have to address this now because it's fucking up business. And now whether he's right or wrong about this, I don't know. I don't know any of these people personally. I don't understand all of the context involved in all of this shit that's being said. But my purpose here of making this video at all would be to see if I can suss out the reality versus the wrestling narrative, the storyline, or something leading to a program between a group of wrestlers or a couple of wrestlers. And to me, in the 6-7 minutes of this that we've watched together, I'm getting more of the first end of this, of CM Punk just, I'm going to address this shit. I mean, he was brutal about it, called them children, called them fucking idiots, cussing out people there that are journalists because of their hand in stoking up this stuff that I guess CM Punk believed was long since dead and not a relevant story anymore. And of course there's been the situation with Colt Cabana being moved to ROH and Punk being blamed for that in the media and things like that. So he wanted to go ahead and address that just straight up here's my side of the situation. Fuck you guys. Called them a bunch of children, called Hangman Page brainless, and made fun of Colt Cabana for sharing a bank account with his mom. Wow. To me, my honest opinion, on the MJF pipe bomb promo, it was a work shoot. That was my opinion. For this, for what I just saw, from what I understand, this is a shoot. It does nothing for the overall narrative that they're trying to create at AEW. It does nothing to help CM Punk. It does nothing to help the Young Bucks. It does nothing to help Hangman Page. And it damn sure does nothing to help Colt Cabana. So for me, my seal on this is going to be stamped as a shoot. A straight up shoot. Not even to mention the reactions that were coming out of Tony Khan. He's tripping. There's a few times in that interview that you can see where he's like, oh, fuck. Right? You're talking about somebody who has so much bread. I mean, he should be running the bakery, right? This guy has so much money and so much power, and he is shitting there. Wow. He is. He's sitting there shitting a brick. He is bumfuzzled, to say the least. And for that to be the case, I'm saying this was a shoot. I would love to hear your opinions. What are you guys thinking about this? I mean, it's really interesting stuff going on in AEW, whether it be just drama alert central, because it's interesting to see really cool stuff going on, like the Matt Riddle, Seth Rollins promos that were happening. That's the first interesting thing that I've seen on WWE in a great long while, where they just ripped into each other. It was relatively unfiltered, a lot of expletives that you just aren't used to seeing on WWE going on, but you could still tell that was a work, that was a promo, that was not legitimate heat. But here, I think we've got some legitimate heat on our hands, a legitimate shoot. But, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys, or at least see the conversations that you're having down in the comment section about this. AEW, once again, making wrestling interesting where it hasn't been for a great long while, which I am very much appreciative of, as well as the fact that you've decided to watch this. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this, and I will see you in the next one.